Close to 100 South African doctors have written an open letter imploring President Cyril Ramaphosa to give the green light to the drug Ivermectin to be used in the treatment of COVID-19. This has, however, been met with skepticism from various quarters. There are concerns that there is insufficient scientific evidence showing the drug's safety and efficacy for human use. Currently, Ivermectin is only approved for animal use. One of the doctors who penned the open letter, Dr. Nasiba Katrada, is a GP from Durban. She says there are numerous concrete tests in medical journals around the world that Ivermectin does work. She joins us now via Skype. Dr. Katrada, thanks for being with us. Good to have you.
Good morning. Thank you very much for that.
I suppose the best starting point is for you to make us better understand what exactly is Ivermectin and what is it currently being used for?
Well, ivermectin is a drug that has been around since 1975. It has been used in humans since 1981. So in South Africa, it is used for lice, parasites. It can be used under Section 21. And this also has been used for blindness for a disease called onchocercosis. When there was a mass disease outbreak in Middle Africa, and ivermectin was the only drug that was used. And then it won the Nobel Prize in medicine because of that. So it is a very safe drug in humans, and it has been around for a very long time. So it has been refurbished to be used in COVID-19, and that's what ivermectin is, basically.
So it's not, however, in South Africa, as I mentioned in the introduction, currently being used on humans. It's only for animal use in South Africa.
No, in South Africa, it can be used in humans under Section 21, and it has been used in South Africa for lice, for parasites, and for so it can be used, and for scabies. So it has been used in South Africa for humans for those purposes.
As you have said and penned and spoken to, having it under Section 21 is a costly affair, and it's too difficult to move it that way. So you want to try and make sure that it is available for use for COVID patients. Why do you feel that this is actually going to help?
Well, you know that we're living in unprecedented times. And right now, we just came off the first wave, straight into the second wave. And from last night's meeting with all the authorities, it's a disease that we do not know about. The only certain thing about this pandemic is its uncertainty. And the one thing that we do know about ivermectin is it's safe. It is a safe drug to use. And that's what I was asking. I was asking for the president. I know the channels. We need to go through SAHPRA. You've got to apply to Section 21. You've got to get the drug registered, et cetera, et cetera. But, we don't have the time. And the thing is, if the president was able to set up these bodies to research the vaccine, something that we've never heard of, to do research on other drugs, things that have never been used for COVID, this safe drug, all I'm asking is legalize it. Let us use it and trust us to use our knowledge as medical doctors to give it to the right people at the right time in the right dosage.
Yeah. So, Dr. Katrada, what evidence do you have that this is a safe drug to use?
Well, with the way the world is now, we call it like a fishbowl. There's studies done all over the world. And there's a specific site that I make reference to all the time. It's the FLCCC with Dr. Pierre Corey and Dr. Merrick, who is an ex-South African, by the way. And I had the privilege of meeting him the other night. And the studies that they've done meta-analysis. So basically a meta-analysis, if you take a whole lot of studies and you put them in together. And there's studies done all over the world, especially in South America. There's some done in India. And just because there isn't a study done on US soil and on European soil, it's meeting a lot of resistance. But the thing is, in the countries that it has been used, in the countries where the studies are, the results are not good. They are overwhelming. They are well over 90% success rates. And that is the thing about ivermectin. It's not good, it's great.
Well, I mean, Professor Karim, who, as you know, I'm sure very, very well, heads up the Ministerial Health Advisory Committee on COVID-19, he's been quoted as saying that until more evidence has been made available, the routine use of ivermectin for the prevention or treatment of COVID-19 is not justified. His views are obviously shared through the Department of Health and even the World Health Organization. Perhaps give us your reaction to this.
Well, the World Health Organization has changed their mind now. They haven't put it on the protocol yet, but they are saying that it is a safe drug. And even the NIH in America has now said that it is going to encourage the use. So the trend is changing. The reason why I wrote the letter to the president is we have no time to do research in South Africa with the black market being flooded firstly, and also the time-consuming. It's so time-consuming to do a study, and everybody's involved in vaccine trials. I was saying set up a task team. The question I was saying is, Mr. President, can you tell us if this drug is safe? We know that, but you need more evidence. So have a look at all the evidence. We can present it to you. Let us know that it is a safe drug. And when it's a safe drug, with what they're saying, I'm quite sure that we're going to come to the same conclusion. But in the meantime, we cannot keep a safe drug away from the people just because we haven't got enough evidence. If it is a drug that was causing a lot of side effects, yes, but we know that for 40 years now, ivermectin is around, and it is some people say it's more safe than Panado.
Yeah. When is it that you advocate that ivermectin should be used? I know that we speak about for the prevention or for the assistance of people with COVID. When in COVID do you actually use it?
Well, the studies are overwhelming in prevention and early treatment, although there are studies to show ivermectin's success during hospital, once the person is hospitalized. So here in South Africa at the moment, people who get hold of it can use it for prevention and early treatment. But then again, nobody is controlling that. They're doing it the way they want to. And the studies are overwhelming for prevention and early treatment. So that's where I want to advocate the use. So if we use it in prevention and early treatment, we will get less people getting into hospital admissions. And that's exactly what the talk was about yesterday, the burden on the hospitals, and the hospitals could not cope. Because as you know, this new strain was 50% more transmissible. So more people were getting sicker in a shorter amount of time, thus putting even more burden on the hospitals. And that is why I was so passionate about this, to say, we have something, let's try and use it to keep people out of hospital so that the hospitals are not burdened, and then the doctors are not overworked, and the nurses, and people stop dying.
Yeah. You know, the problem is with so much talk around ivermectin now, there's a black market for it as well. And what I'm understanding and reading is that people are paying up to 3,000 Rand for one tablet that could possibly cost you 10 Rand. And now there are cases of people that have actually, or one person that I'm reading about here, who actually overdosed on the tablet in Pietermaritzburg, landed up in hospital. So this is the danger when, you know, the name of this drug is out there and people are talking like yourself of the benefits of using it, but government is still saying there's not enough research in this. So, you know, it's very hard to control what people are actually doing right now. Does it worry you perhaps that bringing this into the public sphere is a bit of a risk, because people might be taking it without knowing anything about this drug, but thinking it is that miracle they're looking for?
Yes, and that's exactly why I said in my letter, it is not a miracle drug. Firstly, I want to clarify, the incident that you're talking about in Pietermaritzburg happened last year. It didn't happen recently. It happened last year, and those people took vet prep, the wrong one, which had a mixture of ivermectin with something else. So it was not just ivermectin, it was a mixture of something with the parasite, because I know the person who was treating those patients. So it happened last year, and that's not even verified. The details are not even verified yet. And yes, that is my concern. If we put that's why I asked the president for trust us again, and put it back into our hands. So as medical professionals, we can give the good advice. The black market is flooded. Firstly, we don't know whether that is actually ivermectin, because you know how good South Africans are at spreading fakes really quickly. I mean, it can get done overnight, and thousands of tablets have now flooded the market. I get pictures because people have seen my letter. Random people will send me a picture on WhatsApp and asking me, "Hi, Dr. Kat, is this real?" I can't tell from a picture. You can't even tell from looking at it. It has to get tested. And if the black market is flooded, we don't even know if people are taking the right thing, or it's like a placebo that they're taking. So we have to get them tested. So the quicker we get it legalized, the quicker we can control this.
I mean, one of the, just very quickly, I know we've run into time problems, is, you know, what countries are using it and what evidence are there? I know you have spoken to some research that's been done, but what countries are successfully using it in the treatment of COVID-19?
So in India, in the state of Uttar Pradesh, they're using it. In Argentina, they've just okayed it now, in the state of Macedonia, and also in South America. So they are using it. And the studies are overwhelming. If you look at in one place in South America where a few cities were using it, you'll see a drastic drop in the number of infections. And the one city who chose not to didn't have a drop. So what those people did is they got together and they said that they had a worm outbreak, and they went and got it because they're allowed to take it for worms. And then their trend dropped. And those are the kind of things we're seeing.
Okay, all right. I wanted to ask you more questions, but my producer's shouting at me. He says that we've just run out of time. But listen, no word from the presidency. You haven't heard anything as yet. You've sent the letter. You're now waiting.
Yeah, we're 500 now, by the way, 500 doctors backing the letter.
All right. Dr. Nasiba Kachada, GP, part of not 100 anymore, 500 doctors who have penned an open letter to President Cyril Ramaphosa imploring him to give the green light to the drug Ivermectin for use in humans. Let's take